All right, let's go quickly to OR Tambo International Airport now, where South Africa's legal team that represented the country at the International Court of Justice has arrived there now. Let's take a listen.
I think she has flown to Durban, and our two other colleagues, Linnea and Vaughan, have gone to the UK. So I am the unfortunate one of having arrived in Johannesburg to this event. Obviously, nobody knows what a court will decide. This is the World Court. It comprises of 17 judges from different nationalities, and they will apply themselves now that they have had the argument, and we expect an outcome relatively soon. I don't know when, but it will be relatively soon. It is a matter of urgency, and they understand the weight of the responsibility on their shoulders. So I just want to thank you humbly again that you have come here in numbers and you have welcomed us. It's an unusual experience for a lawyer because most of law is really dealt with in the privacy of your home or in the privacy of your office. It is never really such a public effort. And when I was told by Crispin that there might be, not that there will be, there might be people welcoming us, I said to him, I don't think we as lawyers have a right to tell you how you should respond to us. You must make that decision, and we should be humble enough to come and express how grateful we are. Now, there are two other lawyers, and unfortunately, in a court process, only the senior counsel appears as a spokesperson. The work that is happening in the background and the words that go into the speech are attributed to the senior counsel. But the truth is that there is Tsidiso Ramukhale here, who was one of my juniors who contributed to the speech, and there is Lerato Zikalala, who was also one of my juniors who contributed to the speech. There was also Sarah Paddy-Jones, who was one of the juniors who contributed to the speech. So most of it was a collaborative effort. But we must not remember, we must not forget that the struggle continues. This is an episode in a long struggle. You heard Adila saying it is about 75 years of occupation. So that struggle continues. It does not end. This week marked an important episode, but it did not mark the culmination. It marked a very crucial turning point in having the world look at the issue through a legal lens. But the overall struggle itself will continue beyond this. But we have been very humbled that we have been able to contribute a very small part to an otherwise long and courageous struggle of the Palestinian people. So in those words, I want to say thank you, and I would really like to go and sleep.
Viva Palestine! Viva!
Viva! Well done, South Africa! Well done!
Well done!
Well done, South Africa! Well done! We love our team! Well done, our legal team! Well done!
You can see those are live visuals at OR Tambo International Airport. Let's see who is speaking there now. Perhaps we could go back there again.
When we reached out to them, they told us, look, it's not about how much you're going to pay us. For us, this is a contribution to humanity. So not that they will not be paid, but this is what they said. We are not interested in discussing money. We want to do the work. We want to serve humanity. So we must be grateful to them as well for having agreed and having done a great job. We are very grateful.
Thank you! Thank you, South Africa! Thank you! Thank you, the legal team! Thank you!
On behalf of the people of South Africa, on behalf of the people of South Africa, on behalf of the people of South Africa, on behalf of the people. Okay.
Palestine will be free! Free Palestine!
We are very, very grateful to the team that has come. We are grateful to the South African government. We are grateful to the Minister Naledi Pandor, and on behalf of the people of South Africa, we want to say to you, we are very proud We are so proud because you've given a message to the world that South Africa does not turn its face away from oppression. It stands for humanity, and we are very grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are very grateful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Members of the media, if you want to do interviews, you can then come to me. Going to speak to him.
Some of the reflections here from OR Tambo Thank you so much.
Oh, it's you. You owe me a chocolate.
You must send invoice to the
All right, those live pictures from OR Tambo International Airport. That's where, of course, the legal team that was representing South Africa at the International Court of Justice against Israel has arrived back in the country. Those, of course, live visuals from there. That team, Advocate Tembeka Ngcukaitobi SC, who was part of the legal team that was representing South Africa there, basically saying that, this is just but another part of the role that they have played against injustices in the world. We also heard one of the speakers there applauding South Africa for not sitting by while he says injustices are taking place against the people of Palestine. Certainly a resounding welcome. Of course, Advocate Tembeka Ngcukaitobi SC indicating that while they cannot prejudge, of course, what the International Court of Justice will find, South Africa does believe that they're advanced enough to ensure that perhaps the ICJ might find in favor of South Africa. So that, of course, was the legal team that was being watched very closely this past week at the International Court of Justice. Right, let's go live to Kaelihle Khumalo now, who was with us live from OR Tambo International Airport, where that legal team has arrived. Hello to you once again, Kaya. Just give us a roundup of what the legal teams said there with regard to what they advanced and what they believe, what they're hoping that the International Court of Justice will find after those presentations. Kaya?
Well, certainly, Crisaldo, just quite a very great sense of gratitude from the team after really presenting South Africa's case before the International Court of Justice. South Africa has really been so vociferous about what's happening in Gaza, making those claims around the genocide. But, Crisaldo, we do have the spokesperson of the Department of Justice and Correctional Services. Well, actually, Justice. Crispin, thank you so much indeed for your time. Quite a moment for South Africa. Crispin, maybe just your fleeting reaction as the team has arrived?
Yeah, as you had seen, the team is really grateful for this moment. I mean, really humbled by this overwhelming presence of peace-loving South Africans. And as Tembeka Ngcukaitobi, our senior counsel, stated, is that, most of the time when this work is done, it's not done for gratification, but it's done for a just cause. And to see this type of welcome is really something special.
And obviously, Crispin, we've seen so many countries supporting South Africa. Quite a very big debate now is raging. We're looking at those claims around the genocide, what's happening in Namibia, obviously with Germany and the history that's happened in that country. As South Africa, how optimistic are you about your case that you have presented?
We really thought that our case was unanswerable. Right from Advocate Adela Hassan's presentation right up to Bline Nigroli's speech, we saw detailed forensic analysis of what's happening in the Gaza Strip, the type of genocidal intent echoed by state action from the Prime Minister right up to a foot soldier. And we believe that this has to be adjudicated by the International Court. And we believe that we've really put forward a solid case, a case which deserves an answer at the very least. And what we did say as well at The Hague is that we are encouraged that Israel presented themselves to the court to answer and to present a case. Whether that case will persuade the judges remains to be seen. But at the end of the day, the commitment to a rule-based society to ensure that international human rights law is not scoffed at but is enforced is something that we will continue to advocate for.
And just before I let you go, Crispin, obviously the ICJ is a very complex environment. In terms of the provisional measures that you've requested, when can we expect, perhaps, just in terms of their response, in terms of the deliberations?
Our legal team placed the case for urgency, so we really expect that the court will respond in a reasonable time. The situation in Gaza as we speak, the amount of people dying is escalating daily. And so we do believe that the court will act with the urgency that is required, but we can't put down a specified time frame.
All right, so thank you so much indeed. So, Griselda, that's Crispin from the Department of Justice in South Africa. So there's a very sense of relief that the team is really back home, but also really just incredible scenes here at the OR Tambo. As you can see that there are so many people here really just hoisting the Palestinian flags, but really just talking about this particular conflict, but also pointing to a number of concerns around the atrocities that the people of Gaza have been subjected to. But really just a very incredible moment for South Africa as the legal team that represented the country has finally landed here in South Africa, and they just spoke to the media, really just expressing, but also very steadfast about the case that they've presented.
Kaya, thank you very much indeed. I see a number of placards behind you. Could you kindly just do a little walkabout, show us what's taking place there? It looks like the scores of people who are there to welcome the legal team back to South Africa.
Well, certainly, Griselda. Let's try and do that with my colleague, Herbert. Ma'am, I'm just going to come to you. You're here. Tell us about your presence. Why are you here today?
I'm here because I'm proud to be a South African, firstly. And secondly, we are so proud of our team that represented us at The Hague. We need to stand against oppression, irrespective of where it is. And we need to talk out about the atrocities that Israel has committed against the innocent Palestinian civilians. So we're here to say thank you to South Africa, and we're here to also say thank you to our team that represented South Africa at The Hague. And we're just happy that they're back, and whatever the outcome is, we will know that South Africa did not keep quiet against oppression. They did not keep quiet against the fascist apartheid regime of Israel.
All right, thank you so much indeed for that. So I see, ma'am, you're hoisting this flag, the Palestinian flag. Tell me how you're feeling right now.
I am a proud South African. I am proud to stand for Palestine. I am proud to be a South African, where our team has gone out and showed that we as South Africans should stand with justice, should stand with freedom. And the Palestinian flag is just one symbol of resistance. It comes in many forms, such as the watermelon, but this Palestinian flag shows that we stand for justice and we stand for freedom.
All right, thank you so much indeed for your time. And what about you, ma'am? I see you guys, you have been so patient and waiting, and the team is finally back here in South Africa. Are you optimistic that ICJ may rule in their favor?
I am optimistic. I think we have to be as patient as we've been. Palestinians have been patient for 76 years now. So our angst, I can only imagine what Palestinians are feeling. I am optimistic. I think I have to be. But the world honestly has spoken, and it's clear that what's happening in Israel has to stop, and we need a democratic state there. And South Africa, I think, is a really good place to make that case. Our legal team did a fantastic job of doing that, and us as ordinary citizens will continue doing that until Palestine's free.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much indeed. So, Griselda, these are the views that you're getting here from OR Tambo International Airport. Quite a number of South Africans are really proud of the country's position, what has been presented before the ICJ. So a lot of them really cautiously optimistic. As you know, that with the International Court of Justice, really, the rulings tend to take time, like we just heard from the Department of Justice, saying that this is a very interesting matter. But also, what has really just been very fascinating with this case, Griselda, is really just the reactions from the globe, really, of so many countries who have been really supportive of South Africa, the likes of Namibia, for example, where they also spoke about their very own experiences. You know, you look at the genocide that happened in the early 1900s, but also So with the former colonial power, Germany, really coming under siege, and we do know of a very history that is very turbulent. With that, back to you in studio.
Khayelitsha Khumalo, thank you very much indeed. Live from OR Tambo International Airport. That's, of course, where the legal team that was representing South Africa at The Hague at the International Court of Justice against Israel has returned to the country, of course, to throngs of supporters as well as people who had wished them well at The Hague, said that they're proud of South Africa not sitting on the sidelines in the face of injustice. One of the placards that my colleagues showed you there from a young boy saying that kids should be allowed to play and not die. That's a sentiment being shared at OR Tambo International Airport. Of course, as we wait for the ICJ, we're not sure when that's going to happen, to give its ruling on the presentations that have been advanced by South Africa as well as Israel. However, South Africa optimistic that the ICJ may rule in its favor.